Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Darkside Phil here, and we are covering the final DLC character for at least the Season 1 expansion of Street Fighter V, Urien. Urien is actually one of my favorite characters in the Street Fighter universe. I played with him quite a lot, both in Street Fighter 3 Second Impact and Third Strike. Ended up being kind of like one of my secondary characters in that series. I was never like... I never played with him the way that others did. A lot of people like to use the Aegis Reflector. I prefer Tyrant Slaughter, which I know is crazy. That's his super where he used to dash forward and do kind of this auto combo. And a lot of people did not use that one. They thought the Aegis Reflector was better. Overall, it was better. But I always liked the character. I liked his juggle capabilities, his long reach, his kind of, counter hitting. He was pretty good. He's a good character overall. So they brought him back in Street Fighter V with many changes. Let me emphasize that. Many changes. Just like all the characters they brought back, they've taken out a lot of their viable stuff from previous games. I don't know why. Maybe because they don't know how the fuck to make a game, or maybe because they didn't know how to play the previous games. I have no idea. You would think they want to retain some of the useful stuff, but they've changed them quite a lot. Alright? So we're going to explore Urien right now in training mode. And then we're going to check out other stuff, but training mode, we're going to go through all his combos and everything that I figured out so far. Alright, so first off, Urien, you might be saying, wait a minute, he's wearing that little banana hammock diaper thing from Third Strike. How the hell did you get that? Because that's not in the game. If you actually just pick Urien normally, he's wearing his suit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you pick Urien normally, and then you hold down light punch, medium kick, and heavy punch as the round is booting, he will rip his suit off and wear the banana hammock diaper. And I'm sorry, a lot of people might find this offensive, but this is how Urien is supposed to be. He's an Adonis. He's a Greco-Roman, look at him, a god. And he should have that rippling body on display for all to see. If you don't like it, close your eyes. Alright, so that's how we're doing it. Okay, so first off, let's talk about his normals. Alright, he's got light punch, medium punch, heavy punch, and his heavy punch can be charged. If you hold down the button, see it takes longer to come out, it's quick, or charge it. And that is his crush counter, as I'll show you, leading to a combo, okay? He's also got, if you hold forward a medium punch, an upper punch, this used to be a good anti-air, and it also has some pretty decent range for combos and such. If you do that, plus you press Fierce Punch after, that's one of his target combos now, where he does a high punch and then a low punch. That's also for combos, obviously. If you just hold forward and just heavy punch, that is his overhead. And now he should be very useful in Third Strike, and I definitely suspect that it will be very busy. Very busy. Very useful is what I meant to say in gameplay, because, a lot of Urien's strategy is mix-ups. How can I mix you up? How can I get you to block high or low and then do an overhead or trip you or whatever? So that's going to be a pretty important tactic. Light kick, nothing special. Medium kick, pretty good range, just to show you, look. And it is a mid-style kick. Might go over a lot of low attacks, I'm thinking. People who are trying to sweep or come in low, you may be able to stuff them. It all depends on how tall they are. I'm thinking a lot of smaller characters might slip under that kick, though. Then you got his roundhouse. Standard standing roundhouse hits once. If you charge the kick, it hits twice by holding down the button. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now, he also has a ranged kick where he moves forward a bit. It's back and roundhouse. Now, the reason that this kick is important is, number one, it's his other crush counter, right? Which you can do things after. And number two, it's going to lead to pretty big combos. In fact, his V-trigger, which is the Aegis Reflector, primarily is going to be buffering off of that move. So your goal is going to be trying to find a way to land that kick when you have V-trigger, and then canceling in your Aegis Reflector, leading to big combos and such, okay? Pretty interesting. Let me get rid of the other Aegis Reflector so we can continue on here. Alright, low attacks, you got low jab. Does not combo, by the way. Low medium, which is like a stretching elbow. I've noticed all of Urien's moves in Street Fighter V have way less range than they had in Street Fighter 3. So take a look. His elbow used to move him way forward. Now it barely moves him forward at all. They've nerfed it. Really stupid, in my opinion. Crouching Fierce Punch is a 2-hit rising elbow. As you can see, it creates a juggle state. And after this, use many options. You could simply, I believe you could just do a punch. Yeah, so you could do the punch, and you could lead to maybe a reset or a mix-up. You could do, I believe, Fierce Punch, let's see. From a certain range, I think you have to be close to get it to hit, which is a shame. Let me see. I don't know if... Nah, it doesn't look like it. Even early. No, it goes right through. But his special moves will combo off of that. Look, you can do a Fireball, which leads to a juggle. You can do his shoulder tackle with a special move, which I'll show you in a few minutes here. You can do his knee drop. So pretty much any special move can combo off of that 2-hit elbow if you get it to land. And yes, the 2-hit elbow does combo. See? So it is easily comboable. It's not like, oh, it only works from a grounded state or anything. No. It is a combo, so that's pretty good. Alright? Low kicks. Low light kick. And it does combo into itself. Not that it's going to be very useful doing that. Low medium kick. Which, by the way, you're going to notice something. If you played Third Strike, you're definitely going to notice something. They changed the animations for a lot of his kicks. He did not used to do a spin when he did low medium kick. Now he does, which means it's a lot slower. Basically means his low medium kick is almost useless because it's so slow. And by the way, no, you cannot 2-in-1 off of it, so I can't do like low medium kick fireball like you could do with the Shoto. It doesn't work. So basically his low medium kick is almost utterly and completely useless. Low roundhouse. One of the few moves that actually has retained its properties from Third Strike. It's quick. It's long range. One of the longest range roundhouses in the game, as you can see. And yes, it's a crush counter. So low roundhouse is going to be pretty good in my opinion. Now his jumping attacks, not so good. All right. Jumping light punch, medium punch, which is an upwards punch which does not hit grounded opponents. Heavy punch, which is a downward chop. One of his good jump in. Let me see if we can combo easily. Yep. Just gotta get the timing. Jumping light kick, which is a knee, medium kick, and heavy kick. You're gonna notice something about heavy kick again if you played Third Strike. Look. My God. In Third Strike, his jumping roundhouse looked like this. It looked like his sweep. It looked like this big lunging kick that had massive range. They nerfed the hell out of it. Look at the short range on this kick. And this is one of his best normals in Street Fighter 3. They completely nerfed it in Street Fighter 5. Why? Probably because they don't know how to make a game because they're fucking idiots. It's not like it would have made him overpowered. It just would have given him a really nice tool. And they took it completely away from him because they're morons. So it really does suck. His jump-ins now are incredibly limited because he used to have this really long-range kick and now everything he has is short. Sucks, right? Okay, so, let me show you his throws. Neutral throw, slams you down, or back throw, slams you the other way. One thing that people have been noticing is the throw is incredibly useful with the V trigger, that it can actually cause a juggle state, but we'll investigate that later, alright? I actually want to take a look at his what do you call them? What do they call the combo? Not combos, his links, because I want to make sure I didn't miss any. No, I didn't. He has light punch, medium punch, and then the 4 plus medium, 4 plus heavy. So I showed you the 2 that he has. That's good. He had the Aegis Reflector, the 3 different versions. I honestly don't know what Metallic Aura does. I don't. I'm gonna have to mess with it. I don't know if it gives him more defense or something. I just want to make sure, of course, they're not saying that oh, changes after using V-Skill. Well, there you go. It's going to change his special moves. Now we know. I'm going to try that out. So first, let's do special moves, then we'll do V-Skill special moves and see how they change, okay? So special moves. Fireballs. Light punch, a slow-moving fireball, medium punch, a fast-moving fireball or heavy punch, and upwards fireball. Now, the upwards fireball in Street Fighter 3 used to be really good. It used to create a juggle state where you could do repeated shoulder tackles and extended combos. Those days are over, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to show you why. I don't know why the fuck they decided to do this. Probably because, once again, they're complete idiots. So game developers, watch this. The regular fireball doesn't even juggle, okay? Now, if you hold down the buttons, he'll do a more powered up version that will actually do multiple hits. Now, I'll show you what happens if you do this one. It does 2 hits. So, yeah, you may be able to get, like, one quick juggle after it, but it's not going to be anywhere near as viable if it wasn't third strike, okay? They really screwed this up. See? So there I was able to do one shoulder tackle. You could even do the EX version of the shoulder tackle afterward. In third strike, I'm not even kidding you. You could do one shoulder, the EX shoulder, another shoulder, and a follow-up hit. It was one of his best strategies. He would try to bait people to jump in and then juggle them with his fireballs. Can't do it anymore. They got rid of it. Stupid. Alright, so that's his fireballs. They're okay. They're not great. EX version moves forward very quickly and hits twice. Now, this is with the lighter punches. This is light punch, medium punch. It'll actually hit twice and move forward. If you actually do it with medium and heavy punch, it does move up. So, let's have him jump again. Once again, as you can see, nowhere near as good as you would expect, especially if you play Street Fighter 3. You may get one or two hits after it, but that's about it. You're not going to get, like, extended combos like you were able to get in Street Fighter 3. You may be able to get 2 or 3 juggle hits and that's it. Let me see this. Actually, that completely whiffed. I'm curious if he stops jumping here and I just do the elbow into it, what happens? Let me get him mid-screen. Too far for the headbutt. Maybe just a shoulder tackle. No, even that whiff. So, wow. His juggle ability has been incredibly nerfed since Street Fighter 3. Does not seem like he's going to be incredibly viable in that regard, okay? Now, I just showed you another move. It's headbutt. That's charged down, then up, plus any punch. Here's light punch, medium punch, and then heavy punch. You might notice something. The two versions don't ground, right? They used to always ground the opponent in third strike. They don't anymore. So, kind of interesting. I just want to show you something. You used to be able to do this in third strike. Not anymore. You can't do elbows into the headbutt. It doesn't combo. They decided to change that. Why? Because they're idiots. Because, you know, that was one of his bread and butters. Take it out. You can combo the EX version, but the timing is strict. It's actually pretty difficult. It was very simple to do in third strike. They made it a lot more difficult to time this in Street Fighter 3. Now, if you're fast, you can actually even combo a shoulder tackle after that. And there, I didn't get it. There you go. For like a basic 5-hit combo. Or you can do the EX shoulder tackle for a 6-hit. And you see it does pretty big damage. So if you have super and you do land the low elbow with Fierce Punch, you could get a pretty decent combo with these juggles. Now, if you just do the headbutt by itself, it moves forward and yes, it will create a juggle state. But it's not great. And honestly, this used to be Urien's way to get out of rushdown characters in third strike, and it's not very viable anymore. It's slower. It doesn't have the invincibility from what I've seen, at least. We're going to try it today against human opponents and see. But it seems to me that his viability for like an invincible reversal isn't there, which by default is going to make him a worse character than the top echelon of Street Fighter V, including Ryu and Chun-Li, who have those perfect reversals and perfect invincibility. I don't think he's going to have it. So I think Urien's problem is going to be rushdown characters are going to destroy him. That's just my take on it early on, okay? Now, he also has 2 other special moves. The shoulder tackle, charge back and then forward plus kick. That's the light kick version, medium kick version, and then the heavy kick goes really far, but I think it grounds. Yeah, it's the only version that grounds. And the heavy kick version seems like one of the best ones for combos. The other versions used to be pretty good, but it seems like they've reduced the range in a lot of cases of those moves. See? So you might want to just go for the Fierce Kick version if you're going for combos or juggles or whatever. Trying to see if we can do it easily off of this. Well, if I could get it to come out. Wow, I can get it to come out. Now, I think you have to do the fireball first. There you go. So that into the upward fireball into the shoulder tackle. Pretty good. EX version. 2 hits and grounds. And it's actually really good for combos. pretty good combo ability and juggle ability with that move, and good damage as well. So that one seems like it's pretty decent. And it's fast, too. I predict a lot of people online will just be throwing this out of nowhere and landing it because people won't be able to block because of the fucking insane amount of lag in this game. And then we've got his final move, the knee drop. Light kick version. Medium kick version. Roundhouse version. So you see they all go different distances. Now, in Third Strike, when you did the EX version, it would do this really crazy looking tracking knee drop juggle that would track your opponent no matter where they were on the screen, and it would be great because you could actually do things like throw a fireball, then do it, right? And it would mix people up because they were like, oh, I gotta parry the fireball, now I gotta try to parry this, and they would get distracted. In this game, the EX version is terrible. Look, it goes straight down. There's really no benefit to it. And I don't, once again, another thing will nerf. No fucking sense, right? But what I have noticed is that this knee combos really easily after the elbow. So if you're having difficulty comboing, like, say, an EX headbutt, or if you don't have meter, probably the bread and butter after this is going to be that. Or, you know, I already showed you that you could do this. But if you're having problems with that combo, you might just want to go for the knee drop, right? Okay. I'll also show you can combo the EX version, which does a big chunk of damage, by the way. Pretty interesting. Now, we just saw that his V-skill will change the properties of some of his special moves. I'm curious to see what it's going to change. Let's see what it actually says. It says all 3 moves change. So let's see. I'm not sure what it changes. It looks like he turns... Look at that. He turns dark. I think what people have been saying is it gives him super armor. So whatever special move you do, he has super armor on the move. So this one, maybe it gives him super armor on the headbutt, right? Or, you know, super armor on the charge, or even super armor on the knee drop. Gives him maybe a frame of super armor. I could see that could actually be a good thing, especially with that shoulder tackle. If your enemy is doing something, you could blow through it with a shoulder tackle, maybe, right? Simply because look at that, I mean, it's such range and speed, right? So it could be pretty good. Imagine if you have super, right? You have a full meter, and then you do something like this. So they do a move, you blow through it, cancel in the fucking super, look at this. 50% almost, with basically one hit, because you had super armor. That could be pretty good, and I actually am eager to try that out today, and see how that super armor will, you know, be implemented in his gameplay against humans, because that could be a pretty useful thing in my opinion. I do think that'll be pretty good. Okay. So, the final thing, obviously what I just showed you, his super, it's 2 fireballs plus punch. He punches down and it's upwards, so it's probably good for anti-air. I'm gonna check that right now and make sure that it does catch them if they're in the air. Let's see. Yes, it does. So pretty good for anti-air, especially if someone's trying to maybe cross you up. If you can get it out fast enough, pretty big damage. But also, it does combo pretty well. Like, there's a lot of situations where you can combo it. Not bad, right? Or just a basic combo here. Very nice. And it's giant damage, but the question is going to always be, I think, with Urien, do you want to utilize your meter for things like the EX headbutt combos or EX shoulder tackles for more damage in your basic combos, or are you going to purposely try to save up that meter so that you can implement the super and do giant damage? I don't know. It seems like a kind of a risk-reward. You know, have a weaker Urien during the match until you build up super, and now he's a big threat, or just use your meter and you have a more powerful Urien during the match, but you'll never be able to implement that big damage combo ability, right? Now, the one thing we haven't investigated yet, this will be the final thing we check out, his V-trigger. His V-trigger is like the bread and butter thing with Urien. In Third Strike, his Aegis Reflector was one of the best things he had. It reflects fireballs, it creates a juggle state, it locks down and creates mix-ups on your opponent. So to show you in this game, when you get V-trigger, you could actually do 2 Aegis Reflectors, and there's 2 different versions. There's a close version, there's a neutral version, a low version, and a far version, and you could throw out 2 of them when you have V-trigger. Alright, here's the neutral version. The neutral version actually goes behind your opponent, okay? Pretty interesting. Here's the down version. It's up. The down version actually creates it to go up and create a bit like an aerial juggle. All right. And then there's a far version, which goes even further. So you could basically create 3 different ones. One that's going far, one that's going close. By the way, I screwed it up. It's close, neutral, and down. It's not far. So this is back in Aegis Reflector. Close up. Here's the neutral one. So you see what just happened? You see how you could do juggles with this? See that? And you could basically really mess with your opponent if you could get them trapped between the Aegis Reflectors. Pretty neat. Now, I've actually heard that if you do the down version, you can do some interesting stuff. But I don't know because I haven't really messed with it too much. You probably juggle them back and forth between the two, I'm thinking. Oh, he actually bounced right through it. Huh. I mean, I could basically show you a million variations of this, and ultimately what's going to happen is as people play with Urien, they're going to find much better setups for the Aegis Reflector that are going to create big juggles. That's exactly what happened in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, is initially Urien was seen as a weaker character, but once people found these mix-ups, like here's what they would do. They would do one here, they would do one here, and then they would find a way where you can mix some overheads and stuff, and mix it up so the character doesn't know how to block, and you would always get hit by this juggle combo. It was like guaranteed damage in Third Strike. I'm sure people will find that out again. Okay? They will. They'll figure it out. But I've seen a couple interesting combos online that I've kind of messed around with that lead to pretty big guaranteed damage. Most of them seem to be based off of a crush counter. So if you just do a crush counter back in roundhouse, off of that you can buffer the Aegis Reflector. So I'm going to try that right now. See that? And it seems like you could do like a juggle back and forth. Run out and try again. See that? You saw what happened there? No, that was a 50-50. I bet if the human opponent isn't going to know which way to block. Am I blocking left or right when I'm landing on this Aegis Reflector, right? That could be really tricky if someone's landing on an Aegis Reflector and doesn't know if I block left or right. They could basically turn to a 50-50 situation where you could lead to big damage simply because it's confusing. Or you can continue combos by doing that after it. It'll continue an increased juggle state, right? Pretty interesting. So that's just with the back roundhouse. Seems like it would be a good way to do it. But standing fierce seems to be the best way to do it, and I'll show you why. Because standing fierce actually combos into the back roundhouse, and if you do that, the back roundhouse does not create a juggle state. So watch this. See that? So what happened was crush counter into the back roundhouse. Now he's stuck in place. Aegis Reflector now bounces him back towards me. I did forward plus medium punch, which bounced him back into the Aegis Reflector, which then left me completely open to do whatever I want. And this could lead to some pretty big combos in the long run. Let me actually get him over here. See that? And you could also combo super, too. I'm going to see if I could do it. Let me just get him over here. Oh, I canceled too early. You got to wait for both hits of the elbow or else you won't get your full juggle combo. Let's try that again. There it is. Look at this. That was over 50% damage because I had an Aegis Reflector, his V-Trigger, and I had a super. That's pretty insane for just, you know what I mean, for having the V-Trigger and a super. 60% because you got hit by a crush counter is pretty nuts. Alright? I'm sure there's going to be many different variations. You don't need a super for that combo to be super viable. In fact, I'll show you a variation here that I messed with a little bit. There. So there I only had 1 meter, and I did a 10-hit combo that did about, what, 40% damage? That's pretty damn good, too, just with 1 Aegis Reflector. But ultimately, what people are probably going to be doing here is not just 1 Aegis Reflector. More than likely, you're going to end up tossing 2 or 3 of them Well, not 3 of them because you can't do 3, you know what I mean? But 2 of them and try to lock down your opponent. Let's see what I can do here. See that? Now, how the hell would you block that if you even could? You know what I mean? Like, you're going to get so mixed up. You're already in a combo, and then another Aegis Reflector comes out. You don't know where it's going to hit. So it's going to turn into these really very difficult to defend against moves. Now, one final thing. People have already figured out that if you throw with Urien, you can bounce them into the Aegis Reflector for a combo. And so what I'll do here... Right? Now watch this. Pretty interesting that you can do that. Some people have already said, oh, you can actually combo into super, so we'll try that. Well, I got a jab instead of the super. Yeah, look, there it is. So you could do a back throw into the Aegis into super. So if they get thrown, now the thing is, if they quick recover from the throw, okay, then they won't get juggled. So if they know to quick recover from all Urien's throws, it's not going to be super viable. But, you know, early gameplay, I can see a lot of people falling for that. You know, oh, so they just reflected. That's not damaging or anything. And you just throw them right into a juggle. But the thing is, you land so quickly from it that I don't think you could do much else. Like, you can't even do low fierce. See? It seems like it's too slow. Let me try this. I'm going to try the high version. Ah, there you go. Let's mess with that for a second. Oh yeah, wow, that leads to a full combo. That's pretty cool. Let's try that again. Oh, he's out of the way. Darn, I screwed up. All right. You see, it's also going to depend on the positioning, because you saw there, it only hit once. He's going to have to be in a position where it hits twice. Or else you're not going to get your full combo. See? Huh. Interesting. Well, have a lot to do with character placement. You can probably do shoulder tackle after that, too. Let me see if I can do it. Oh, I only hit once. Ugh, see, sometimes it might only hit one hit, and if that's the case, that's a shitty juggle. See, you can't even combo after that one. Too early. That's not what I wanted. Oops. Get further back. Damn it. See, even now, you know, I'm just messing with it now. I don't know the distance yet. So even then, it doesn't seem like it's fully viable because it doesn't always come out at the right distance. I mean, how are you going to be able to control the screen so well that you always have it in the right position? You know what I mean? So it seems like it could be good, but again, this is day one. I'm sure over the next few weeks to months, people will be messing with Urien and find out the best juggles and situations and everything with him, right? So it looks pretty good, in my opinion. He's a combination of his previous version with a lot of nerfs. It doesn't seem like they really gave him anything new besides Crush Counter, which everyone has in Street Fighter V. They took away a lot of his viability. Just jumping roundhouse, a lot shorter and terrible now. Low medium kick, terrible. His headbutt, terrible compared to how it used to be, and it doesn't seem like a true reversal with any invincibility frames anymore. So, they nerfed him. Why? I don't know. But it certainly seems to me like they nerfed him significantly, right? So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is Urien in Street Fighter V. Hope you enjoyed this kind of in-the-lab tutorial video showing you all his different mix-ups, combos, chains, and stuff. And I hope you'll check out my other gameplay of him in the other modes as well. Very nice.